Start.
I'm recording, so we can do like an easy entry.
What's up?
As I ruined the easy entry by announcing the easy entry.
An easy entry. That's what we're going to call this episode.
Ooh,
an easy entry.
Yeah.
How you doing, Damian?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing, Opie?
I'm doing horrible.
Oh no,
doing absolutely horrible.
What happened?
Nah, I'm fucking around. I'm doing pretty good.
It's a beautiful
I'm doing
day.
pretty good. It's a beautiful day.
Mm-hmm.
This is episode 2 of Filler Non-Canon. We almost didn't do episode 2. We almost were like, fuck this. We're done.
Yeah, we're done. One and done.
One and done.
That's
people
fine.
Are like, what happened to that podcast? The 4 people who listened.
The 4 people that were into
What
it.
happened to that anime podcast?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm playing. No, we were super excited to do this episode.
Mm-hmm.
A lot is going on this week in the world of anime.
Oh hell yeah.
That's all I'm paying attention to. The rest of the world's on fire.
Yeah.
But we're like, hey, fuck it. We're
The
just
anime
gonna.
is still trucking along.
Yo, when you have like been ostracized by the rest of the world,
Yeah.
people are like, anime's for losers. It's for nerds. It's like, I wish you could watch your live action stories now, don't you?
All you can watch is Love and Monsters on
Yeah.
VOD.
yeah, Love and Monsters. This is something that's popping up right now.
Right.
A lot of people are loving that.
Well, my God, you know what I'll say? It's the societal standard still pops through because we uploaded the first episode last week, and all of a sudden my YouTube recommendations are literally how to tell if a girl likes you. And I'm like, come on. I started an anime podcast for 1 week, and
YouTube's like, you're a virgin.
I got my virginity back somehow. Google gave it back to me.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. All those people who are just like, all those super religious people who are like, how do I get God to love me again? It's like, we'll start an anime podcast.
Right.
But a lot has happened this week. Demon Slayer movie just came out.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Already $1 billion yen. You got to say the yen.
You gotta say the yen.
You gotta say the yen.
$1 billion. Everyone's like, what? A cartoon?
Yeah, cartoon. Yen. Oh, okay. But still very good. That's almost like $10 million. It's got one of the biggest releases ever in Japanese cinema history. That's the only place you can watch it at this time. So if you want to see it, you got to get on a flight to Japan.
You gotta go.
Got to go to Japan.
Get the passport ready.
And watch you still be like, it'd be so funny if like someone buys a ticket, buys a hotel to Japan, and then can't afford a ticket to go see the movie.
Well, I don't even think we're allowed to go to Japan. You have to illegally export yourself to Japan. I think,
wow.
now. I don't think Americans can.
That's true. That's
can
true
travel,
because
right?
Because of COVID right now, we can't even
I
go
think
into
so.
Japan.
Yeah.
Man, that sucks.
I
was
know.
gonna go.
Yeah.
I was gonna drop everything. And be like,
Well.
You gotta see this. I was gonna go purchase a ticket through Movie Pass.
Exactly.
And go see the new Demon Slayer.
Use my defunct movie pass. It still works there.
It still works there.
Yes.
They haven't figured it out yet. Yeah, they're ahead, but they're still behind when it comes to Movie Pass.
Right. And then, well, speaking of COVID and Demon Slayer, the theaters, hilariously, just for this weekend, lifted the COVID seating restrictions, so you can just sit right next to people.
Well, first of all, that shows that they still made $1 billion yen. Is very impressive.
Yeah.
That but despite COVID, despite like, I know that if a movie came out here in America, and they're like, we're gonna lift the ban to go watch, so you can go watch, I don't know, Avengers 8.
Yeah.
I'd still be like, no, thank you. I'm gonna stay home and not watch it. But people are like, nah, fuck that. They probably also handle COVID way better than we have in this country. We're in America. I don't know if you've noticed. I think the fact that this movie has still managed to break all those records is a testament to how good the first season of Demon Slayer was.
Yeah, people I think were really excited for this movie. So I think it's cool to see. You know, people
the government had to get involved. Like, you know what? We like this too.
Yeah.
We saw that episode where Tanjiro cut off that spider demon's head.
Oh yeah,
and we were fans.
We're huge fans of it. The animation's so good. In this next one, you haven't read ahead.
I have not. I know that I know that it has the series is over. It would be really funny if like North Korea was like, we're also like releasing all bans for people to watch this movie, like all world governments.
Right.
This is what like slowly spreads throughout the world of being like, we're lifting restrictions for the Demon Slayer movie. And then cut to a month later, everyone has died from COVID.
Everyone, yeah. It's everyone's turned into a demon. Everyone's got demon blood in them because
Because the power of a brother and sister.
Because the love between a brother and a sister.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's no closer love.
There's no closer love than a brother and sister.
As anime would tell me.
Yeah. I think it's. I think I'm interested to see how the numbers are doing or keep doing in Japan. How long is the restrictions lifted? Is it like permanent or is it?
I think it was temporarily this weekend.
Just for this weekend.
So they could just grab the cash.
There's so many people who aren't going to see this movie who are just doing the most debaucherous shit right now. Mm-hmm. Who are just like in the underground clubs or just like getting drunk and partying their asses off.
You're in trouble when you go to see Demon Slayer right now in Japan, and then the person sitting next to you still has the like stamp from the club last night, and you're like, oh no.
You're gonna like, well, I guess I'm gonna put my mask on when I watch this movie. They're just coughing up a storm.
Get him, Tanjiro!
Get him, Tanjiro! Someone just dies in the theater. They're probably doing heat checks or temperature checks before people come in.
Yeah, and I think masks aren't as big of a deal because they've been doing it forever.
They've been doing it forever. Yeah. I mean, prior to COVID, I was wearing masks. As a fashion statement. It was. I literally was because it's a thing that like people. It's pretty cool. I'm a hype beast, and it's a thing that people in the hype beast culture do is wear masks. So when I saw people started to wear masks, I was like, wait, is this not cool anymore? Maybe I don't want to wear these masks. And then I was like, oh no, it's for a life threatening disease. I was like, all right, well, fine, I'll put it on.
I like it. I think I'm going to keep them because dude, week 1 I was still in New York.
Yeah.
And it was before everything shut down. And I remember I just got on the train and I saw just some guy wearing like a straw hat, like a cool mask, and like this cool outfit, and I was like,
was it Luffy?
Yeah, it was Luffy. Luffy was checking out, was worried about Corona.
He's just riding the train. He's like, I left the high seas.
Yeah.
And I take the G now.
I take the G train.
I live in Queens.
Yeah. And for some reason, that was the moment where I was like, man, maybe masks are cool. I was like, this guy's like killing it. It's like part of his look.
Yeah, masks has always been like a cool thing to me, but like, now that everyone's wearing them, I'm like, now I got to figure out another thing. That's the hype beast. And I'm like, oh, everyone's wearing masks now. What do I got to do? You know what it is? Fingerless gloves.
Yeah,
that's what I'm wearing now, and that'll tie into the show we're going to be talking about later.
Oh yeah,
but I'm going to be a fingerless glove guy now. 2021. That's what I'm starting.
Boom. Yeah, I don't care if my fingers are cold.
No, I mean I'm in LA. What do I do?
Yeah, exactly.
My fingers. Like in New York, they're like, wow, that guy does not give a fuck about his fingertip nails being
blood
cold.
circulation. Who gives a shit?
Yeah. It's like I'm going to look like Ash Ketchum.
Anytime someone gets serious, I just love to spin the hat around.
Spin the hat back like, all right, now I'm gonna stop fucking around.
Yeah.
There's this meme I love of like somebody when they're playing video games, they're like laying back, but then when things get serious, they lean forward. That's how I am gonna be, but it's just to like pay my taxes.
Yeah. Ladies, when you see your fella spin his hat around, watch out.
Shit. So I'm super excited for that. Also, good news: Demon Slayer season 2 is going to be coming out 2021 as well. That was announced. I think it's just going to be so popular. That train has left. No pun intended, based off the movie. But like Demon Slayer is going to be it's a runaway hit at this point. No one can even deny it.
Yeah, they're in production. I think that was like confirmed. Who knows what stage of it they are, but probably at some point. Yeah, next year.
I wonder if they're going to do the Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Super route and just like break down the movie into episodes, or if they're gonna just go past the movie because the movie is canon.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's actually a huge part.
Yeah. It's a whole arc, right? This whole movie.
Yeah, so they kind of got away with it because when I first heard of the movie, or the plan, because I think they put like, you'll see it again at the end of season 1. They go, you'll see it again in a movie, and I remember being like, that's weird. Like, why would that's so weird? So we could go see the movie and then go see the season. But yeah, maybe they'll do the Dragon Ball Z thing.
And I'd assume that they'd probably have a VOD plan as well. Rollout plan for American audiences, just because I don't imagine a lot of movie theaters, specifically in LA, are going to be opening up anytime soon. So I would assume that there's going to be some VOD plan if season 3 doesn't have a connection to the movie, or if they do break it down like they did in Dragon Ball Super when they had the Battle of the Gods, and then that was the first arc of Dragon Ball Super. That could be done as well. I would prefer it to be the movie and then we just move on just because I want to get into the story.
Yeah.
But I know like they could also squeeze us for the money.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, but it'll be a little different.
It'll be, more in depth. And it's like, it's the same thing but shittier animation.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
It's exactly the same thing. I mean, listen, I'm going to watch either way, but fuck you.
Yeah. Like, ooh, I'm excited to see the filler they put into it.
Yeah. There's going to be a whole episode of just like the snacks on the train car. It's like, do you know how like you ride train? It's like, oh no, Tanjiro lost his ticket and he has to show the conductor. What do we do? And then the ticket's possessed by a demon too, but it's a cute one.
Zenitsu falls asleep and then goes across all the trains in one shot.
Yeah. I really hope they just keep it going and you get to just see more of the story. And I know they released a manga that connects to the movie as well, so that could be interesting. I know it's free online. I don't know where you could get it. I haven't read it yet, but
I don't know if it's on. It might be on the Shonen Jump app,
okay,
but I am saying that way out of my ass.
Way out of your ass. This is just coming out of your ass.
I said that with zero confidence, but I just put a little bit of heat on it.
That's funny that like if you have no confidence on something, it's like, well, this is coming out of my ass.
Yeah, this is coming out of my
ass. Don't quote me. Like my ass is talking right now. You're just right now. If you're not watching, Damian's butt is the one that's talking to the mic. And that is his mic from now.
Yeah,
we're labeling that.
I flipped around into
you want to talk about Jujutsu Kaisen?
Yeah, episode 3.
Episode 3, The Girl of Steel. What'd you think?
I liked it.
You liked it?
Kugisaki. Looking at her name right now. Trying to remember names.
Kugisaki Nobara. That's her name. She comes from the countryside.
I do love that they just like shit on the countryside.
Oh,
that's my favorite part of when an author, you can tell when like a city guy is shitting on the country and when a country guy is shitting on the city.
I wonder if, I mean, there's always this like distinction between city people and country people, and city people always look down upon people in the country, and people in the country are like, you city people are weird with your fucking liberal ideas. I wonder if that's how it is in Japan as well. It feels like that's what they're alluding to.
Yeah, it kind of made it seem like they were like xenophobic or kind of.
So, spoiler alert, you've been warned. In this episode, we're introduced to Kugisaki, who is from the countryside, and she always wanted to live in Tokyo, and she was super excited to get there and explore Tokyo, but she's Gogo? What's his name?
Gojo.
Gojo. I said Go-Go.
Go-Go.
Go-Go. That's a whole different manga. It's an entirely different show.
Go-Go Kaisen.
Go-Go Kaisen. He was like, actually, we're going to take you on a mission because I want to see how crazy you are. Basically, he wanted to see if she had the mental fortitude to be in the crew. Basically. Which was interesting. I thought that was a little twist. I thought it was going to be like a dumb filler episode and then with a fight at the end. But it was actually pretty cool to check out her backstory in like a way where it's like, no, I just hate the countryside.
Yeah, that's the only reason why she's in the city.
Yeah.
Well, she didn't want to. Well, I thought it was actually kind of a nice little bit of imagery when it shows the sign on the bridge. I mean, I don't know how it might be a little on the nose, but it's like this bridge is like not out of use because of deterioration. And it's like, oh, she just didn't want to do that. She didn't want to like go out of use, just wasting away in the countryside. Like the bridge.
Yeah, she was like, I mean, I feel like every person who like moves to a big city has those kind of feelings of like where they're from. Like I know when I like growing up, I was like, man, I gotta get the fuck out of here somehow. Like my whole plan was like, I'm gonna move to New York or LA, something like just to get the fuck out of this like boring ass town. And it's not even like the people; it's just that like there's certain things you just can't do.
Yeah.
And in a smaller city, in a smaller town. So you just got to get the fuck out. Or you could stay and ride away like a bridge.
Yeah. And that's exactly what happens to everyone in the countryside.
Yeah.
This is what it's saying.
I think the lesson of this episode was burn your bridges.
Burn your bridges. Yeah. Abandon your family.
Yeah.
Whatever.
She doesn't think very highly of Yuji, which I thought was very funny. Yeah. She doesn't think very highly of any of the characters. She immediately jumps to is like, I think you guys are all dumb. Now take me to the best sushi spot. Yeah, what were you gonna say?
I don't know what I was gonna say. I did love that Gojo Sensei in appearance and in like ethics is like a reverse Kakashi.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's a good
he
point.
puts his mask on his eyes. And,
That's a really good
and he's
point.
also like, I want to see how crazy you are, not the power of friendship or whatever.
Yeah, that's a very, very good point.
Yeah.
And I love her powers. She uses a nail and a hammer.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I was like, you would be either the best or the worst person at TaskRabbit. I'm like, I don't know if you could mount my TV or you would leave a hole in my wall.
Yeah. Well, you can't stiff her, else she'll put a voodoo doll on your face and hammer a nail through it. And you're like, oh no.
Yeah. I just feel like that like she would just like come through and there's got to be a moment where we see her at like a woodworking shop class and she's just so fucking good at it. And the teacher's like, I have nothing to teach you. Yuji got a sword. It's called the Slaughter Demon Sword.
Yeah, just a nice butcher's knife or whatever. Yeah.
I was just like, wow, they use a lot of restraint. Like, usually anime swords are fucking gigantic. Yeah. Specifically someone that strong, too. You're like, oh, he's going to carry like a Atsa kind of sword. Like, that's just huge. It's like no human being could actually hold on to it.
Yeah.
But his sword's just like there. Like, yeah, just very like,
it's like
not assuming.
Yeah, it's like a nice little, was it a cleaver? That's
yeah.
It's just, and it's, he can still jump around in hallways and stuff.
He's very parkourish. It's like I do parkour, but like I kill demons too.
Yeah, I do love the way he fights. He's always like flipping around.
He's always, yeah. He's always like bouncing from side to side. It's almost like Gran Torino and My Hero.
Oh yeah, kinda.
Yeah, like just like bouncing off walls and like just slicing people.
Yeah.
I low key at one point was just like, well, this demon has no chance. Like this demon is just like stuck. And it's just like, what the fuck?
Oh, no.
Yeah. You literally had a, oh, no.
Oh, no.
I'm getting sliced.
Getting sliced up. Dude, just mind his business. Just cursing a building.
Yeah.
And
I like, too, how they were talking about the population, how it affects the strength of the demons. And, like, how, like demons are in the countryside, or, like, since there's not a lot of people, there's less of them and they're less powerful. But in the city, the real demons are like that's where the strongest demons are.
Yeah, and they're gonna be like more cunning.
Yeah. I just think that's interesting. It's like, hey man, if you gotta go to New York, you gotta go to Tokyo if you want to be a real real curse destroyer.
I want to see that show where a curse has to move to the big city and to become a
curse is like, I've spent a lot of time just killing people in the countryside, and they're like, hey man, like just live here. You'll have a wife and settle down. Enough people to kill here.
Yeah.
And it's like, nah, you got to go to the big city.
I gotta hit it big and take a little boy hostage in an abandoned building.
Speaking of that little boy, scarred for life.
Yeah, this is big. Well, I love that at the ending, he's just like, all right, see you later.
I live over here.
Yeah, and they're like, yeah, he'll get home.
That kid can never go into a department store ever again.
Yeah,
he's gonna be terrified of mannequins.
That's right.
He's just gonna be like freaked out every time he sees like an open display in a window shop. He's gonna be like, oh yeah, I almost died from one of those. What a poor kid.
Yeah, until a crazy lady with a hammer and nails launched nails across the room and killed him.
And then she didn't even really save me. This other guy broke through a wall like the Kool-Aid man. Yeah. And then he sliced the eye off of a demon that had its nail by my neck.
Yeah. Dude, that demon's it was just I don't even know what its plan was. He just grabs a kid, sticks his, and he just starts laughing. Like he's not trying to get away. He's just like
And he did that demon for sure had a pedophile mustache. Did you notice that?
Oh yeah.
Did you notice that?
Yeah.
I was like, yo, this demon is fucking creep.
Yeah.
Yo, this demon is like what would happen if Ned Flanders met a Shinigami. It was so just like, I'm gonna diddle this little boy.
It's like no.
I thought it was a really fun episode. I think it was a cool. Now the trio is assembled. We have our crew, and a really good balance. Like Yuji's definitely the wild canon. I think the other guy's name is Isha.
I
want to make sure I get this name right. Megumi.
Right.
Megumi Fushiguro, I think he's kind of like the more tamed, like academic kind of guy, and I'm forgetting her name. I should know her name.
Oh, Kugisaki.
Nabara. Yeah, she I feel like is the like the silly one.
Yeah.
That gets angry all the time. She kind of like has Bakugo energy, if anything.
A little bit. Yeah.
She's just mad about everything. I'm like, oh, I like this. I think there's more to explore with her backstory too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're kind of good. They actually do remind me a lot of Team 7 in Naruto. A little bit.
That's a good point too.
Yeah. I think she's got a little bit of like inner Sakura vibes.
Yeah.
Who's always angry. I dig it. And again, it was just very funny. The whole way through, Gojo taking him on a field trip.
Yeah,
it was funny.
Do you think going back to Nobara, do you think that her past with her friend Saro-chan is going to come back up?
Yeah, I imagine what's her face is like dead or is like fused with a curse or something, and it's just going to come up in a solo episode with her.
Because there's like this one specific moment where they showed like her body and her head was cut off, kind of.
Yeah, she looked like a mannequin.
So I was just like, oh, I wonder if this is like alluding to something or foreshadowing something that's going to happen in the future.
I rewound that a couple times because I couldn't tell if they were just like foreshadowing or if I missed something. And I think they're just foreshadowing something, or maybe it's just like imagery.
I love that they're like, yo, we don't like your views, so that's why they made her leave. So I'm like, what are her views? Like that she was in the countryside.
Well, I think they moved to like fix the highways or something, and then like the people there were like, we hate our highways.
Yeah, we don't want no stinking highways here.
Our bridge is burned down. All right, we don't give a shit.
If the bridge goes, so do we. Okay.
If we're cut off, we're cut off.
We're cut off. Fuck you. Go back to the city. Stay out. And take your pastries with you.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was just trying to do
just give you a bridge of pastries.
Just trying to fix your highways.
Yeah,
give you
like,
some
get your liberal views out of here. Okay.
What are these macaroons? Fuck out of here.
They hate macaroons in the countryside, apparently. Yeah. I'm super. The next episode looks pretty cool. Looks like there's going to be a kind of a team up. You get to probably see like they have to work together. That's what I'm guessing. I haven't read the manga. Don't know where it's going. But
all we see is there's a giant fetus floating over a prison.
Yes.
So
that can't be good.
I'm in.
Anytime a fetus shows up at a prison and it's floating, can't be good.
It's going to get the pro-lifers up in a... They're going to get me a little upset about this one.
Listen, prison is not a choice, but life is. I'm something I noticed in the closing theme. I was like, oh, I didn't notice this before, but it's kind of like a TikTok dance challenge, outfit dance challenge.
I wrote that down too. I love the ending.
I love the ending. Yeah, I never really like sat through and watched. I was like, oh, the ending is like kind of like this like cool outfit, like they're shopping. You gotta see them on their day off kind of thing.
They're all wearing like their cool like oversized clothes and like they're like going like on a shopping spree.
Yeah, it was like a fun like dance. You saw a little bit more of the panda. I'm like, all right, there's a story here.
The panda's doing something.
The panda needs to fucking show up.
I'm ready for it, and I don't think we're gonna get it in the next couple episodes.
I think we're not seeing the panda. My bet is not before episode 10, which is fine. There's 24 episodes, so
it is.
Yeah, I checked. It's 24
good.
episodes. Okay. So I think we'll get the panda. Episode 10 is my guess.
Yeah, whenever this, I bet you like this arc sort of like resolves whatever this next one is, which I imagine will be the first like multi-episode thing. And then we might get some like the extended cast of characters.
Yeah, I think it's good they're doing the slow build. I think as opposed to like just throwing it all in and like being like figure it out and being messy. I think they're taking their time with it, which is what I really like in an anime. Yeah, and like in a show in general, like just like the world building is slow and not just throwing you in there and getting you so confused. Like what the fuck's going on?
Because I think that this is one that's I think it's going for the long haul. I think it wants to be a longer show. Yeah. And it's already, 100 something chapters. So
I think it's definitely something I'm going to pick up once the season's over. I think the same goes for Demon Slayer when that comes back as well. I think I'm going to pick that up as well.
Yeah. I mean, there's not much left.
Yeah.
So,
do you want to do our deep dive?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's head into it.
Cool.
Deep dive of the week.
Deep dive of the week.
Something I haven't seen.
Yeah, I have seen this movie, this show.
Yeah.
It's only 6 episodes. It's Golden Boy, and I call that, AKA, the Johnny Bravo story.
Well, if Johnny Bravo always had an epilogue where the girls always liked him.
Yeah, the true Johnny Bravo story.
Kintaro is always ends up getting them.
Yeah. Well, Golden Boy is about a show about this main character is Kintaro, who I see him as a pervert who just wants to learn. That's all he is. He's just trying to get some he wants real world education. Just a quick breakdown of the character Kintaro. He withdrew from Tokyo Law School after he completed all of his classes. I highly doubt that. I think he was kicked out. I think he was disbarred, and I don't believe he finished any of his classes. I think majority of his classes they were like, "You got to get the fuck out." I don't even think he completed freshman year. I think he didn't even get past undergrad. I think. Yeah, I think Kintaro was maybe got admitted to college, and then after first semester, like, hey, you got to leave.
Yeah, you're smelling all the girls' toilets.
Yeah,
you gotta.
We will. The toilet thing.
Yeah,
I don't know how they got it in basically every episode.
Yeah. He's smelling, but like the
Japanese toilets.
The Japanese toilets, which I can't believe they've had these. Why can't we get these? They've had these since the 90s.
This is the 90s.
Probably even before.
Yeah. We're so far behind in toilet technology. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So the show is described as a sex comedy. That's the genre of the show.
Yes.
And Kintaro goes from town to town, and he's basically like a nomad on his bike, the Mikazuki 5, which I love. I love that bike. I'm like, oh man, I would like every time I watch this show, I'm like, I should buy a bike.
Yeah, it definitely romanticizes bike riding.
It definitely does.
Yeah.
It's very different than actual bike riding.
Benkyo. That's just saying study.
Study. Kintaro, you should get a Peloton, bro.
Just get one job in a Peloton.
Get one job in a Peloton and just hyper focus. I think it's honestly probably a better thing that we put him out on the road because I think a focused guy like him, he would probably be an evil stockbroker, just taking over the world, just like Gordon Geckoing the world. Right. Just put like it's kind of like that Bill Burr joke about Lance Armstrong. Just put him on the bike. We don't want to see what this guy does if he's not on his bike. You know how much energy he's expending on this bike. Like I think you want him on the bike as opposed to just terrorizing women from town to town. This is what he basically does: is he goes and he picks up odd jobs. And kind of like a work study situation, he just wants to get paid and experience. Mm-hmm. So every episode follows him as he learns from these highly sexualized female characters. Mm-hmm. Basically, episode 1 is a computer studies episode. What'd you think about that episode?
I thought that episode was fun. It reminded me of because we both worked as temps.
Yes.
And when I was temping a lot, I would work at a lot of startups. Yeah. And a lot of them, because Kintaro shows up and it's like office of beautiful women. Yes. And when I was working at startups, it's all young and hot people.
Yes, it's true.
And I was like, whoa! I was like, this is in the 90s, but it's like that's kind of what it's like. Because you show up to these startups and it's so funny because they're always young and hot, but they're also these new companies, so they're like. It's like we're open to everyone. We want everyone in the company. We don't discriminate against anyone. I'm like, where are the ugly people? Where are the ugly people? You say that, but where are the ugly people?
Yeah. We're kind of like TikTok. but The Office. Yeah. It's like TikTok meets The Office. No ugly people, and and we're all doing these weird generic dances for some reason. Exactly. I think the first episode was super fun. I love that it follows the relationship between Kintaro and the boss, and her name is just Madam President. Mm-hmm. If you imagine what Hillary Clinton if she was in a BDSM, and this is the character. She shows up, and the first time you see her, she gets out of the car, she runs over to Kintaro, and he falls in the garbage, and she gets out of the car and steps out, and her boobs bounce for way too long.
Yeah.
Her titties have aftershocks. I don't understand how they'll just it's 20 seconds into her monologue and they're still bouncing, and I'm like, how is this possible?
Dude, it's all nipples and
she's wearing leather.
You can honestly, you can see the lips of her vagina.
Yeah,
And I was like, what? This, what this show reminded me of?
Yeah.
90s anime was so horny.
Yes.
I was like, who are these guys? It's like Japan was just
we'll get into the creator of the show. Super interesting guy, in my opinion. So his first educational lesson, which I think is accurate, is that women are scary. Which I think any anime fanboy is like, yes, I totally agree.
This is the greatest show ever.
Kintaro is my spirit animal. I think he understands exactly where I'm coming from in this situation. And so at first you're like, okay, Kintaro is just like a fucking pervy boy, which is very interesting because I think a lot of anime now, the pervy boy usually isn't the main character. It's usually like a side character to someone for comic relief. And it's really hard to get layers out of a character like Kintaro, but I think they do that in a really fun way. Yeah. And he makes everything, we've kind of talked about this before, but he makes everything sexual. And this first job is he's trying to learn how to do code, essentially. And he learns code on a computer he made he made a keyboard out of paper. And he just learns how to code, and everyone's like, yeah, no, that doesn't work. That's not how you fucking do it, you idiot. You go clean the toilets. Right. Which, like you were saying, he goes and he licks and he drinks the toilet water. Yeah. How did you react to the first time seeing that?
I mean, it's I don't know how to describe it because it's so weird because you can't. In so many ways, you can't make a show like this anymore.
Yes.
So my brain is almost programmed to it shoots up the red flag first. That's just unfortunately the modern response.
I think that's fair though. I think seeing a guy getting so excited to lick a toilet seat that a woman that he finds attractive sat on, and being like, that's not right, is the appropriate response.
But what I will say is the facial expressions when he's caught are hilarious.
They're so funny. Yeah. This show is so funny. And the genre of sex comedy, I don't think I've seen an anime that makes so many over-the-top crass sex jokes, but in a very well-done way. We were talking about Yuri on Ice last week and how, tastefully done it was. This is nah, fuck taste. We're going balls to the wall.
This is in so many ways the opposite of last week, but also somehow we're still 2 for 2 in animes where a guy says, I'm gonna come.
I'm gonna come.
Somehow we're still 2 for 2.
And we also get a woman saying that too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a moment we'll talk about that, but there's a moment where a woman says, I'm gonna come, and that's also done in a very beautiful way, kind of. Yes. There's the part where Madam President spits at Kintaro and he opens his mouth up with such glee
and catches it
in his mouth, and I'm just like, oh my God. I remember the first time I saw that as a kid, I almost flipped my laptop. I was like, this is episode 2 is The Temptation of the Maiden. This is where Kintaro is basically working for a guy, this shady dude who's running for mayor. So Kintaro joins his election committee or his election staff and is basically trying to drum up votes for this guy, Katsuda. And it's basically, and the girl that Kintaro is, his love interest for this episode is Naoko Katsuda. And she's basically Ivanka Trump. That's basically what she is.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'll he tells her he is obsessed with her. At one point during his inner monologue, he goes smile at me so you can make me come. I'm like, whoa, dude, you're fucking so horny.
Yeah, this girl's in high school.
Yeah. I remember watching this, I think maybe 5 years ago, and I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. And now I'm like, yeah.
I think the older you get, the less you're going to feel for this one.
Yes.
I think if you watch this when you're 16, you're like, ooh,
I guess you don't really realize how old he is until like the second rewatch. You're like, oh yeah, he's like,
probably like 30.
Yeah, he's probably like 30 years old. Like, Like left law school, completed all of his courses.
Yeah.
I mean, he's pretty smart, so maybe I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, maybe like 26, 27.
Yeah.
Maybe if he completed everything super fast. But yeah, I was just like, ugh.
Yeah.
He's getting real pervy. Like it's one thing to be a perv, but it's like, are you a pedophile?
Come on, man.
Yeah, like, are you
We don't even know what year this girl is in high school.
It's like, come on, man. You're like, dude, like this is way too early for this shit, bro.
Yeah.
Episode 3, I love this episode the most. It's The Virgin's First Love. It's the new episode. Mr. Kaguri. The new episode, Kintaro's working at a noodle restaurant. He's interning because the guy who owns it got ran over by a car and hurt his arm. So he can't make noodles anymore. So he hires Kintaro. And Kintaro is falling for his daughter, Hiroyuki. But she's in love with this guy named Mr. Kaguri, who looks like an evil Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Like
he was huge.
He was huge.
Yeah.
He was huge. And immediately he walks in. He's this nice guy. And I'm like, this guy's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like he just shows up showing off his Benz. He's like, oh yeah, like I got this building over here, this building over here. I'm like, this asshole. Like I feel like he's the perfect like Japanese yuppie of the 90s.
Yeah.
He's just like talking about how rich he is, and like he's like trying to like seduce this family to take over so that he can take over their family business. I thought that was pretty like unexpected.
Yeah.
Like I knew he was gonna be an asshole, but like to the lengths of how much of he was an asshole was really funny to me.
Yeah, it was a very convoluted plot to open up your own nightclub. Because, all right, step by step. Step 1, do a hit and run.
Yes.
And then also save the person from the hit and run.
Yes.
Step 2, date the guy's daughter. Step 3, marry her and take over the business. Step 4, turn it into a nightclub. I'm like, can't you just get a loan from the government?
Yeah, it's like, is that the best location?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Why does it have to be this noodle shop?
Yeah, exactly.
It's also like, why does it have to leave? Why don't you turn into a nightclub, but also like, why don't you just turn into a really cool restaurant?
Yeah.
It's like, it's an old school noodle shop. It's like, keep the noodles, change the atmosphere, you know? Like, you're forgetting all the various accoutrements that goes into like an establishment.
Yeah.
And you're forgetting that it starts with the food, you idiot.
Yeah. You know what it reminded me? It reminded me of that meme where it really felt like he just started with 1 hit and run, 2 ? 3 ? 4 profit.
Yeah.
he's like, I know I'm going to do a hit and run, and then it'll be profitable. I don't know how yet.
My favorite line in this is then when Kintaro finds out the guy's plot, he tries to beg him not to go through with the plot, and then he beats the shit out of Kintaro and he goes, hey, listen, I'm licensed in karate.
Yeah.
Licensed in karate. And he's like, get the fuck out of here, noodle boy. It's just so funny to call something licensed in karate. Just say I have a black belt.
I got a black belt.
I have a black belt. And it's like also just shows you how popular karate was in the 90s. Right. Yeah. I was like, whoa, this guy does karate.
Everyone was into it.
Yeah.
I was into it.
He tries to get Hiroyuki to propose. He proposes to Hiroyuki and tries to have sex with her, but Kintaro intercedes, and he basically just like they're at one point they're buttoning the guy Mr. Kogori. He unbuttons her shirt. And then Kintaro buttons her shirt back.
Yeah, Kintaro's hiding in like they're at a baseball stadium, and Kintaro's hiding in like the mascot's costume, which they think is just like a plushie in the background, but he's actually like. He's also like reaching out to intervene. Yeah,
so every time he's like trying to go too far, like he unzips her pants, Kintaro zips it back up, and then he goes in for the kiss, and then he kisses Kintaro with the screwball kiss, which is like his finishing move, and Kintaro basically jizzes his pants.
Yeah.
Kintaro, it's such a good kiss that Kintaro is still like in a post-sex haze like 20 minutes later. Episode 4. Is the swimming episode.
Oh, yeah.
I love this episode because when he sees the girl, he starts monologuing like Ahab in Moby Dick. And it's like a swimming thing, just like, oh, she will be mine by the seven seas and everything like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he sees her. He sees her, but then like the backdrop dissolves from like a winter Japan day into the savannah of Africa, like the plains of Africa.
Yeah, he's like, I will hunt you down. It's like, that's not how you should talk about a woman.
Dude, we got to bring it back.
Yeah. Bring back the 90s, man.
Oh, yeah, man. I'm trying to see women with a backdrop of the desert.
Yeah. So, at one point when she offers to train him, like she like her outfit turns into like a BDSM outfit and he turns into a dolphin. And it's just like, this is like a better version of SeaWorld, I think. I can't tell.
It can tell
it's like adult SeaWorld. Seaman World or something. I don't know. At one point, he like gets this huge boner that comes straight out of his drawers. And listen, I think every guy has been there when they've gotten a boner in the pool. He's like, I'm going to just stay in the pool for a while.
Yeah, exactly.
But he gives no fucks. He just goes right out of the pool. And he immediately gets fired. He's just like, yeah, of course you should get fired. Episode 5, the motorcycle girl episode.
This one's wild.
This one is where they just jump the shark. And they should have jumped it in the 4th episode.
Yeah.
The girl is so like, she like has completely given up hope on men. And she's like, the only thing that can make me come from now on is the motorcycle.
Yeah.
And I will say this, they do make it sensual enough.
Well, yeah. Well, like within like a few minutes, like it's like the opening minutes is she's like, she's like masturbating to like to the roar of the bike
in broad daylight. Yeah. Like she's just going for it
at a gas station.
Yeah, and then she gets mad at him for looking, and I'm like, what the fuck? Wait, hold up. You are jerking off in public.
Don't put this on me. Don't put this on me.
If he's horny, it's your fault at this point. There's nothing you can say at this point.
Can you imagine if someone's jerking off next to you, and then you like look at him, they're like, oh. They're just like right away. Yeah,
this is the 2nd episode where he gets fired for being a perv as well, because they caught him like licking the toilet bowl and like going into this girl's room and going through all of her stuff. They're like, yeah, we don't think it's working out. And he's like, but why? And they're like, you should probably just like think about what you've done.
I think she says like look into your heart or something.
Yeah.
And he's like,
and then he just stays there for 20 days.
Is it 20 days?
It's like 23 days that he waits outside of their house, and he's like, I guess nothing's gonna happen, so I should leave. And then he goes on what I think is the funniest. He and the girl have the funniest race of all time. Like forget World of Wacky's racist. Like I think this is the funniest one, because like he's like keeping up with this girl on a bike. Yeah, and she's on a just great. She's like on this really souped up motorcycle, and that's how horny he is. He just was like, I gotta beat. Hey, if I get to fucking fuck her, I can fucking beat her on this bike. Yeah, like this dude would win the Tour de France.
Oh yeah,
he just fucked like a woman at the end of the Tour de France. He like jumps off of a cliff.
Yeah, because his brakes go out. Yeah, and he just goes straight down and flies off like a broken bridge.
Made me laugh so hard. Yeah. Made me laugh so hard. And then at the end, when she sees him fly off the bridge, she's like, Come fuck me.
She's like, oh my God.
That's how every episode ends, by the way, with the woman wanting Kintaro.
Yeah, the women all realize that they're like he's the love of their life.
Yeah, I think one lesson you can learn from this show is that like sexually assault women and it'll work out. I guess I don't know.
Well, you know what I almost want to call this show? This show should be called "Well, Actually," the anime, because it's all these women who think they know what's right. These women
go off.
They think they know what they're talking about.
Yeah,
but then a man comes around.
Then an idiot man comes around.
You think this man's an idiot?
Yeah. He's like, I'm just a normal man on a bike, and let me tell you, you've been doing your business all wrong.
Yeah. So that's another 2020. You're like, ooh, I think people would be, I don't know if the guy can always be right. Every episode.
Yeah, I will say the last episode 6, animation is fun. Is probably my second favorite episode. Yeah, because it does a really good job of showing how anime is made. I think the character, he doesn't really sexually he like kind of like fantasizes about her.
He goes for the toilet.
Yeah. You know, it's like old habits die like are hard to kick, you know. It's kind of it's meta, and at one point, I don't know if you noticed this, but the creator of the show, Tatsuya Egawa, is in the episode.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's the guy who's like in the purple outfit and everything like that, who's like super cool and handsome and like.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, he was funny. Referencing himself, which I thought was super fucking funny.
Oh, that's funny.
I think the toilet gag in this episode is so funny because he's holding a knife while he's doing it, and he accidentally slashes the production chief's hair. So he looks like a complete psycho, just licking a toilet bowl, like about to lick a toilet bowl while holding a fucking knife. I think they go really, really ham in this episode in regards to the facial expressions. They really ratchet it up. And at the 16:20 mark, I think Kintaro said something, and I think he kind of encapsulates what I love about anime, is that there's no job that's unimportant. Animation is more than pictures that move and colors and sounds. It's all those combined, and a lot of things you can't do in live action films and videos. So these people get together to make that, and I think that's what's so brilliant about anime, because it's like so hard to make really good anime. Like, I work in TV a little bit, and I'm surprised when any show gets made. Like, it's a miracle any TV show ever gets made. But it's just a bunch of people coming together. So to do that, but animation, I think, is even more impressive to do that. I think he encapsulates that in that episode so well, and it's like a good callback to all the girls. From the previous episodes,
because he recruits them because they're like under a really strict deadline, and he brings them all in to help with various tasks that they're all like proficient at.
And then Kintaro does the last moment is a Irish goodbye. So that's what he is. He's like just the personification of an Irish goodbye. And I really like the conclusion of that episode. You find I just did some research on the creator Tatsuya Egawa. He directed live action porn.
Oh, well, it's all coming together.
It's all coming together.
They're all coming together.
I see what you did there. He reminds me of this director named Gaspar Noé, who's really good at showing the sensual aspects of sex.
Oh, I think I know him.
Gaspar Noé. He's got this great movie called Love. It's really good. You shouldn't watch it if you're not 18. But it's this really cool movie. It shows like how sensual love can be. But I think Tatsuya's whole thing is trying to show how funny sex is and how funny sexuality can be. And I think he takes it to the extremes because I think we've talked about this before, like how like it's dumb. It's kind of funny how horny men can get.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, it's hilarious. Sometimes you just catch yourself being like, "This is wild." This is so stupid.
It's so dumb how horny I am about.
I would love to just follow my dreams. But right now I got to be horny.
I was at this comedy show last week, and it was outside, and there were all these beautiful women. And I was like, oh my God. In my head, I was like, oh my God, look at all these beautiful women. And then every comic who was on the show, every male comic, and even there was another comic on the show, and she was lesbian. And she, they came up to me at one point like, you see all these girls here? And it was just like, dude, every guy has to come up and tell me about how I have eyes.
Yeah. Dude, I love it when the guy, because I think, and you probably relate to this, where it's like, I think I'm bad, where I'm like, oh, I wish I wasn't like, dude, I wish I wasn't thinking about this right now. I wish I could just like, pretend that person wasn't here or something.
Yes.
And then you meet a guy who's just like, damn, look at those girls' boobs. And you're like, okay, this guy's worse than me.
This guy's way worse. Like, you can't even help yourself. And like, there's no like, this is not saying an excuse, but I think it is like funny. Like the construction worker who has to say something to every girl. Hey lady. Or like, just like how like the male gaze is just this like uncontrollable urge. It's just like this like thing in your head that you can't even control. Even with your with all your mind, you're like, oh god damn it, this girl's so hot. I gotta be cool. But Kintaro is like that to the maximum.
Right.
Like, oh my god, this girl's breast is 34D, and it's like taking down notes and everything.
Yeah.
And like I remember like in the beginning of the episode of the first or somewhere in the first episode, he shows off his notes to Madam President. And she just like it's just like pictures that he drew of her body. And he's like, oh no. I just think it's so funny that like that is constantly like just happening like in every like male. And I think Tetsuya just was like, yeah, I think this is funny, and he just leans into it. So it is crass, but I think it's like it comes from a place of like honesty. I would say I recommend this show to laugh at, but not to copy.
Yeah, it's a comedy, not
it is a comedy.
Yeah, not a guidebook.
No.
Yeah.
So what'd you think? What'd you think overall?
I liked it. I thought it was really funny.
Yeah.
I wish I watched it the week. I think it was like it's truly like a week to week. I wish I spaced it. I watched it all in one night.
Yeah.
And I think by the end I was just like a little hazy.
Yes.
And but I wished, but I thought it was really funny.
Yeah.
And
who's your favorite girl?
Who's my favorite girl? Oof, don't say high school girl. Don't say high school girl.
Too late.
Oh, no.
Cancelled.
Canceled.
Second episode, you've already gotten canceled.
the thumbnail for this episode is
You and Chris D'Elia gotta go start your own podcast.
cut my hair off, shave my beard, cut my hair
I will
off.
say this. You kind of could pass for Kintaro if you shaved your beard.
Oh.
With your hair right now the way it is.
Uh-oh.
All you need is a bike.
God damn, I'm going to have to change my whole
gloves.
I'm going to have to change my whole lifestyle because of this goddamn show.
And a red hat. I feel like I really want to like get a thumbnail of you with a red hat backwards and just being like making the the perviest face ever. I think my favorite girl, best girl for this episode for this show, I would give it to the swim instructor.
Swim instructor. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought
gold medalist.
Yeah, I thought she was like the hardest to break, and I thought the one with the most ground to stand on to fire Kintaro. Her or Yuri. I think Yuri was also pretty cool because it was like she really did like she was just kind of like trying to take care of her family, and she was like worried about her family, which I really thought was cool.
Yeah, I think I like the animator.
She was cool too. She was third in my opinion.
I liked her.
Yeah.
It's like I almost want to be like, oh, Madam President, but it's like, she's wearing like a swimsuit to work every day, and I feel like if I say that,
dude, I would get no work done at that office. I'm like, oh my god, can you be like? I'm like, I know it's your body, but like you wouldn't like me just with my tight ass jeans and my dick print. Just
can I turn the heat up? Your nipples are just so distracting.
Yeah.
Can I please turn the heat up?
Cool.
But yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, great. I think next week we're gonna be doing Erase.
Yeah, we're gonna do Erased.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm excited to watch it.
Yeah,
a little bit of a detective story.
Yeah, there'll be more mystery here as opposed to just just a guy sexualizing poor women.
Yeah.
Great, man.
Yeah, and then I think that battery's almost dead, but
that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Follow us here and there, and
like and subscribe. Click that notification bell.
Yeah,
click that shit. And we'll be back next week.
Yeah.
Peace and love.
Later.
Bye.